Here is what they don't tell you about the luxury SUV market in 2026. Everyone assumes the Porsche Cayenne and the Mercedes-Benz GLE are direct rivals. They assume that because they cost a fortune and park in the same neighborhoods, they do the same job. That is a lie. After testing both the 2026 updates, I found that these two vehicles have drifted so far apart that they aren't even playing the same sport anymore. One is a precision instrument, the other is a rolling isolation chamber. If you pick the wrong one, you will regret it every time you start the engine. The 2026 model year is a fascinating moment for these two titans. Let's get the context right immediately because there is a lot of misinformation out there. Neither of these cars is all new for 2026. Both the Porsche Cayenne and the Mercedes-Benz GLE received their major mid-cycle facelifts over the last 2 years, specifically the 2024 and 2025 model years. So what makes the 2026 models different? It's all in the refinement. For 2026, Porsche has focused on digital integration, faster infotainment hardware, deep integration with the Porsche App Center, and audio upgrades like Dolby Atmos. On the other side, Mercedes-Benz has doubled down on aesthetic customization for the GLE, introducing new manufacturer paint options, updated software for the MBUX system, and subtle lighting tweaks like the optional illuminated star on the grille. I'm going to break this comparison down category by category. We will look at the exterior dimensions, the interior technology, the practicality, the hybrid systems that everyone ignores, and the massive difference in engine philosophy. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which key belongs in your pocket. Let's start with the physical presence, because these two SUVs project completely different images to the world. The 2026 Porsche Cayenne measures approximately 194.1 inches in length. Visually, it is the athlete of the group. Even though this is a refresh of the third generation, the changes introduced recently have settled in beautifully. The front fenders are more arched than before, drawing a direct visual link to the 911. The hood has these powerful power dome creases that aren't just for show, they hint at the engines underneath. The defining feature for 2026 is the lighting. You now get the HD matrix design LED headlights as standard on higher trims. These aren't just lights, they are 4 distinct horizontal modules that look incredibly technical. The rear is dominated by a full-width light bar that features a 3-dimensional Porsche script floating inside a smoked housing. It looks expensive, it looks tailored. Now walk over to the 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE. It measures roughly 193.9 inches long, almost identical in length to the Porsche, but it stands taller. The Mercedes is about 70.7 inches high compared to the Cayenne's 66.8. That 4-inch height difference is massive in person. The Mercedes looks statelier. It has a more upright, blocky stance. The front grille is wider, more imposing, and for 2026, you can spec it with the small 3-pointed star pattern in the mesh, which sparkles in the sunlight. The headlights feature the torch daytime running light signature, which is classic Mercedes. The side profiles tell the real story of intent. The Cayenne has a roofline that slopes gently, tapering towards the rear spoiler to improve aerodynamics. It looks fast even when parked. The GLE, specifically the SUV body style we're looking at today, keeps its roofline flat all the way back. It prioritizes the headroom of the people in the back over the aerodynamics. It's a box, but a very aerodynamic, smoothed-out box. Wheel options for 2026 are extensive on both. Porsche offers designs ranging from 20 to 22 inches, including the Neodyme Gold options that have become a fan favorite. Mercedes also pushes into the 22-inch territory with their AMG multi-spoke wheels, which look fantastic but are terrifying to curb park. Opening the door is where the philosophies really diverge. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE interior is designed to impress your passengers immediately. It is dominated by the twin 12.3-inch screens housed under a single continuous glass pane. This is the MBUX system, Mercedes-Benz user experience. The graphics are vibrant, high-resolution, and colorful. The ambient lighting system is the best in the industry, hands down. You have 64 colors, but it's not just about picking a color, it's about the themes. You can have the lights pulse red and blue when you change the temperature. It lines the dashboard, the doors, and even the grab handles on the center console. It feels like a high-end lounge. The materials in the Mercedes are generally excellent. You have open-pore wood options, metal weaves, and the MB synthetic leather is so good now that most people can't tell it apart from real leather. But if you hunt for it, you will find some hard plastics on the lower door panels that you wouldn't expect in a car of this price. The 2026 Porsche takes a completely different approach. It's what I call digital discipline. The interior was heavily overhauled recently to mimic the Taycan EV. You now have a 12.6-inch freestanding curved digital instrument cluster. It has no hood or binnacle, it just floats there. It's crisp, dark, and strictly driver-focused. You don't get the flashy colors of the Mercedes, you get highly legible dials. The center screen in the Porsche is a 12.3-inch touchscreen integrated into the dashboard, not floating on top of it. But the party piece for the Cayenne is the optional 10.9-inch passenger display. This screen has a special polarized filter so the driver cannot see it. Your passenger can stream video or help with navigation without distracting you. It's a feature the GLE simply does not offer. Ergonomics are also a major differentiator. In the Mercedes, the gear selector is on a stalk on the steering column, classic Mercedes. It frees up space in the center console for massive cup holders and a trackpad. In the Cayenne, the gear selector is a small toggle switch on the dashboard to the right of the steering wheel. This also frees up the center console, but Porsche uses that space for a sloped panel containing haptic feedback buttons for the climate control. It looks sleek, but it is a magnet for fingerprints. The seats in the Porsche are firmer. The standard 8-way seats are supportive, but if you upgrade to the 18-way adaptive sport seats, they clamp you in place. They're meant for cornering. The Mercedes seats are softer, wider, and flatter. They're designed for cruising Interstate 95, not the Nürburgring.
This is the most critical part of the comparison because the engines define the character of these cars. We need to look at the numbers closely. Let's start with the entry-level models. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 4MATIC uses a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline four-cylinder engine with a mild hybrid assist. It produces 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Now be honest with yourself. Is a four-cylinder engine enough for a luxury SUV? It gets the job done. It will hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 7.0 seconds. It's smooth, but when you push it, it sounds strained. It sounds like a normal car trying to pull a heavy load. The 2026 Porsche Cayenne base model laughs at that four-cylinder. It comes standard with a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6. No four cylinders here. It produces 348 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. That is a massive advantage of nearly 100 horsepower. The 0 to 60 time drops to 5.7 seconds or 5.4 seconds with the Sport Chrono package. The difference in passing power on the highway is night and day. The Cayenne feels effortless. The GLE 350 feels adequate. Now, let's move to the mid-tier, which is where the smart money usually goes. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 upgrades you to a 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six. This is a brilliant engine. It makes 375 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It is buttery smooth and brings the 0 to 60 time down to around 5.3 seconds. It perfectly matches the relaxed nature of the car. But Porsche pulls a power move with the Cayenne S. For the recent update, which carries over into 2026, Porsche ditched the V6 in the S model and brought back the V8. The 2026 Cayenne S features a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. It pumps out 468 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. In a mid-trim SUV, it rockets to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds with the Sport Chrono package. There is simply no comparison in the experience. The Mercedes inline-6 hums. The Porsche V8 roars. If you care about engine character, the Cayenne S is arguably the best value performance SUV on the market right now. I know many of you are looking at hybrids, and both brands have taken very different paths here as well. Mercedes offers the GLE 450e 4MATIC. This is a plug-in hybrid that pairs the 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine with an electric motor. The total system output is 381 horsepower and a massive 479 pound-feet of torque. It focuses on efficiency. You can get roughly 40 to 48 miles of pure electric driving range depending on conditions. It prioritizes silent electric commuting. When the battery dies, you're left with the four-cylinder engine, which can feel a bit heavy. Porsche's approach with the Cayenne e-Hybrid is performance first. It pairs the 3.0-liter V6 with an electric motor for a combined 463 horsepower. It's significantly more powerful than the Mercedes hybrid. The electric range is respectable, generally rated around 30 to 35 miles, but the integration is different. In the Porsche, the electric motor is there to fill in the turbo lag. It's there to make the car faster. And if you want to go completely crazy, Porsche offers the Turbo e-Hybrid, which combines the V8 with the electric motor for 729 horsepower. Mercedes has AMG hybrid variants, but in the standard luxury lineup, the Porsche e-Hybrid is the far more athletic choice, while the GLE 450e is the superior efficiency tool. We have to talk about utility. These are family cars after all. If you have a large family or carry a lot of gear, the Mercedes-Benz GLE is the clear winner here. Behind the second row of seats, the GLE offers roughly 33.3 cubic feet of space. If you fold the seats down, that expands to a massive 74.9 cubic feet. The shape of the cargo area is square and wide, making it easy to load bulky items like furniture or strollers. Furthermore, the GLE offers an optional third row. Now, I need to be accurate here. The third row in the GLE is very small. It is suitable for small children only. However, simply having the option to carry 7 people in a pinch is a feature the Cayenne does not offer. The Porsche Cayenne is strictly a 2-row, 5-passenger vehicle. Behind the rear seats, you get about 27.3 cubic feet of space. That is 6 cubic feet less than the GLE. With the seats folded flat, you get 60.3 cubic feet. That is nearly 15 cubic feet less than the GLE. That is a significant difference. The sloping roofline of the Cayenne cuts into the vertical storage space. If you regularly transport Great Danes or antique dressers, the Cayenne is going to struggle. Also, storage cubbies in the cabin are more generous in the Mercedes. The door pockets are deeper, the center console storage is larger. The Porsche is designed to wrap around the driver, which naturally means less open space for clutter. This is where the rubber meets the road. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE is the king of comfort. If you spec it with the optional Airmatic suspension, it glides. It doesn't just absorb bumps, it deletes them. The steering is light and effortless. You can steer this car with one finger. On the highway, it tracks straight and true with zero nervousness. It's incredibly quiet. Mercedes has done a phenomenal job with sound insulation. Wind noise is non-existent. It is a relaxing, stress-free experience. However, if you throw it into a corner, it leans. It reminds you that it weighs 5,000 pounds. It handles safely, but it doesn't encourage you to drive fast. The 2026 Porsche Cayenne handles like a car that weighs 1,000 pounds less than it actually does. The steering is heavy, precise, and full of feedback. You know exactly what the front tires are doing. The suspension, even the standard steel springs, is firm. It controls body roll exceptionally well. But the magic is in the new two-chamber, two-valve system that Porsche introduced recently. This system allows for a wider spread between comfort and sport modes. In normal mode, the 2026 Cayenne is surprisingly compliant. It's not as soft as the Mercedes, but it's no longer harsh. But switch it to Sport Plus and the whole car hunkers down. The transmission holds gears, the throttle sharpens, and it attacks corners flat. The Cayenne manages the weight. The Mercedes manages the road surface. That is the fundamental difference.
Finally, let's talk about the price, because the sticker shock is real. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 4MATIC starts at an MSRP of roughly $63,000. The 6-cylinder GLE 450 starts around $72,000. For that price, you get a well-equipped vehicle. Mercedes includes a lot of standard kit: blind spot monitoring, the dual screens, the sunroof. The 2026 Porsche Cayenne base starts significantly higher at approximately $89,000. That is a $26,000 premium over the base Mercedes, and that is before options. Porsche's option structure is notorious. You pay extra for things that should be standard: adaptive cruise control, extra; ambient lighting, extra; ventilated seats, extra. A lightly optioned Cayenne base will easily cross $100,000. A Cayenne S with the V8 will sit comfortably between $120,000 and $130,000. Is the Porsche worth $30,000 more than the Mercedes? From a purely logical standpoint, no. The Mercedes offers more space, more standard technology, and a softer ride for less money. But from an emotional and engineering standpoint, yes. You are paying for the V6 instead of the inline-4. You are paying for the higher-grade suspension components. You are paying for the resale value. The Cayenne historically holds its value much better than the GLE, which helps offset the higher upfront cost over 3 to 5 years. So, which one should you buy in 2026? The Mercedes-Benz GLE is the rational masterpiece. It is the better luxury utility vehicle. It offers more space for the family, it rides better on terrible city streets, and it gives you that flashy, high-tech interior that impresses passengers. If your daily drive involves traffic jams, school drop-offs, and road trips with the kids, the GLE 450 is the car you want. It supports your life without demanding your attention. The Porsche Cayenne is the irrational, emotional choice that ruins you for other SUVs. It is a sports car disguised as a family hauler. It sacrifices cargo space and some ride softness in exchange for driving dynamics that are genuinely thrilling. If you're the type of person who looks for the apex of a corner on your way to the grocery store, or if you simply demand the best engineering regardless of price, the Cayenne is in a league of its own. In 2026, the gap hasn't closed, it is widened. Mercedes has made the GLE more comfortable and tech-heavy, while Porsche has made the Cayenne sharper and faster. If you enjoyed this deep dive, check out this video right here, where we compare the Cayenne against the Macan to see if style is worth the sacrifice.